So we'll unpack the Warriors and Grizzlies series, which officially began today, or at least for the Australians, it began today. Obviously, the predictions came in for this one. I believe that the Warriors should take this in about six. You riding the Grizzlies all the way to the end. Give credit to the Warriors that they'll be a tough out at 7 games. Obviously, we had game one today going down to the last possession. Jar unable to convert on a layup with the defensive thing. That's clearly, a close game, pretty much the whole thing. I just feel like the experience of the Warriors is what's going to carry them through. I think Grizzlies have the talent. I think Grizzlies have, the Suns, the Hawks, young, playoff run-esque from last season in their blood. I just think it hits the roadblock of the juggernaut, which is the Warriors. So, unless Jaren Jackson can figure out a way to really dominate with the size advantage, or Steven Adams can come back, because I think he was in COVID protocols today. I think it's really just a back and forth. You could make a case and say the Warriors needed a career night from Jordan Poole, but Klay Thompson also was relatively clutch. Steph Curry did his normal thing. I just think the Warriors are a really well-oiled machine with the experience, and that's where the Grizzlies aren't. They're a very deep team. They're very well-oiled, but they haven't, weathered storms like they're going to be thrown at. They might have come back from the Timberwolves twice being down 20, which you could make a case and say is a really youthful thing that shouldn't have happened. If they played properly against the Minnesota Timberwolves, perhaps they didn't even get to 6. They handled their business early. But the Warriors, if they get up on you by 25, that game's done. You're not coming back from that. And I know that they got up by about 10 today, and then the Grizzlies cut back into it. But the Warriors don't get frazzled with that kind of thing. They'll maintain their lead. So Warriors in 6.
I obviously, like you alluded, I had picked in writing Grizzlies in 7. I actually picked Grizzlies to come out of the West. I think, actually, before I go into that, I'm putting on myself on record here in the whole internet that I'm picking the Grizzlies to win this series, because the ESPN experts, I think, have 20-0 for the Warriors in this series. Okay. And I think game one shows why they can win this series. Okay, they did drop it, and it was at home. Okay, and you reminded me I should look at my box score, yeah, because I didn't actually look at the box score of this game until a minute ago. And the first thing that jumped out to me when I looked at this box score is that this is not a typical Grizzlies box score. There was heavy contributions from Morant and Jackson, okay, and not too much else. Okay, and that's not how they've been successful this year around. Okay, it's been a real balanced sort of attack. Morant taking 31 shots, okay, is not something that obviously commonly occurs, okay, for 34 points, obviously. So it wasn't that efficient, obviously, in this game. Obviously, Brooks, 3 from 13, Bane, 3 from 10. Okay, these shooters are going to get going, I would imagine, at some point. Okay, and that's what we're looking for. And I think what the Grizzlies have on the Warriors, besides usefulness and obviously the success they've had this year, along with the chip on the shoulder, let's be clear, no one's picking them to beat this Warriors sort of, championship core sort of team, is that they have size as well. Okay, and I think there were plays that I've seen in this game that obviously sort of did really leverage that sort of advantage that they have. Okay, obviously without Wiseman coming back into this rotation at all this season, they've been Warriors have been an undersized team, and they're obviously going to that. That's how they play. Okay, but I think that the Grizzlies have the talent on the wings. Okay, and Jar. Okay, and young size that can cause this upset. Okay, but it is going to be a very close series. I'd be, I'd almost say every game potentially will be under, in single digits. Okay, I don't. I think if the Grizzlies know they have to show up, you just alluded to that if they fall behind 15, 20 points in this game, it's not the Timberwolves they're playing now. Okay, that they're going to just be able to plug it back and maybe get that W. All right, so they're going to have to show up. I'd imagine the coaches are sort of emphasizing that sort of requirement and need that to stay in these games to play against this team. And look, I think there's there's an upset here in the making.
Definitely going to be a good series. It obviously, again, similar a situation. If the Warriors end up taking game 2 over Memphis at home as well, then this series kind of shifts from being competitive to gentleman's sweep at best. So, Memphis does have to respond in a big way next game.
Look forward to it.